But yesterday was more of an intimate, family-only thing, you know what I'm saying? And then today they kind of did the whole public announcement type stuff.
Okay.
Okay, we live, y'all.
All right.
Boom, boom. Man. Okay. We are here on on what most would perceive to be a sad day, but we're looking at it on a positive note as we celebrate the life and the legacy of the late, great Nipsey Hussle. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in as we talk about continuing the marathon and what we can do in our own cities and what we can do in our own personal lives to embody such a change like Nipsey Hussle did. Shout out to Yahweh and Big Ronald from the West Coast holding it down with his Nipsey Hussle shirt on, representing. Okay, so the first question that we have is, how do you think that we can keep his legacy alive? We're gonna start with you, Yahweh.
The way that I think that we can keep his legacy alive is by simply living out what he lived, like continuing the work that he's done. We know Nipsey as the entrepreneur. We know that he bought back the block, to say, you know what I'm saying? So the best thing that we can do is continue and keep that legacy alive, man. That's the biggest thing to me. Like, don't let that die. Just because he's not here in the physical, that spirit cannot die at all. Like, we have to have that same, buy back our neighborhoods, and we have to have that same fight and determination that he had, That's one way that I think that we can keep it alive.
Absolutely. Thank you all for watching. And also, before we get to Ronald's question, I want to make sure that I thank all of the sponsors of this week's podcast. I want to thank Cheesecake Heaven. I want to thank ABC I Love Me. I want to thank Politically Oppressed with Street Premiere. I want to thank, hold on one second, y'all, because I got to get all these names. In Chicago, I want to thank Akira's Cafe, Sister Mina Hot, for her sponsorship. And I got two more sponsorships. The spirit, everybody had to keep the marathon spirit going with the sponsorships this week. I said, I
already know.
Mina G, Cakes by Mina G, 773-679-1374, and Rich Economy Attire. Boom. Perfect. Okay, Big Ron, how can we okay, Ron disappeared on me, see what I'm saying? Okay, Rob, how can we keep the spirit of Nipsey Hussle alive?
Just to not have the same answer as Jay as far as buying Black to Block and making sure we hold it down. One thing that I do want to say is that it's beautiful to see the outreach that people went and supporting the store and supporting everything once he passed. But we got those stores in our neighborhood right now. They may not be as fancy. They may not be as popular because it ain't Nipsey Hussle.
Sure.
But there's some Jamaican homie down the street, in the corner in the hood who got some incense, some sage, whatever it may be, some oils, saying? Go support the stores, the barbershops, because at the end of the day, buying Black to Block is one thing, but supporting the block is a whole other thing. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
For the marathon to continue, everybody got to have their hands involved in it. You know what I mean? So everybody ain't got the money and the resources to just say, I'm about to buy the building or I'm about to put this stuff and make this happen. So those of us who got the foresight to put our resources together and do that, that's great. But those who don't, instead of spending that money at Walmart or Applebee's or whoever you spending money with, go spend that money with the people in your community that is trying to put that effort in, because it's hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, during the funeral today, they talked about how the not just the support, but the police and the city was trying to shut down the Marathon store and all the little stores that they bought up in the plaza. And the owner came to him and said, they're giving us too much of a hard time. They want us to kick you out. And he said, but nobody was here at these stores before y'all came. So instead of me kicking y'all out, if y'all still want to buy it and own it, I'll give you that option to buy it and own it. So that's how Nipsey ended up buying the whole plaza. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we just got to put the work in and let God bless us, man. That thing came through for him. And, Nipsey didn't do it by himself. A lot of the homies from the hood put their little bread up and whatnot, to do what they had to do to make sure they could get done. So I just think we got to, use our resources and support those that supporting us.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And thank you all for your responses. Mimi says, peace, family. So true, Brother Ronald. We have to support each other. Orlando, Always showing love. Thank you, bro. Peace, family. Since Katina says you'll be surprised how much that money adds up. Big Shakir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay. Shakir, I'm not in the mood today. That was the day of honor.
Yeah, I got my serious voice on today.
David Ruffin, live in effect.
Shakir, you said that's your serious voice?
Play today, Jamaal. Okay, play today.
All right. Shakir,
hey, John.
Yes, sir.
I need a way to share the link. People hit me up, asking me for the link right now. I thought I could do it, but I guess I ain't doing it right.
No, it's on Facebook Live. You just click share. You can do it. You just share. Okay, Shakir, how do we keep the legacy of Nipsey Hussle alive, bro?
I'll try to do the same thing you just told him to do. Hey, but how do we keep it? That's a good thing. That's a good question right there. You know, we have a problem with just, riding in the moment, and then after it fades away, we all fade away.
I can't hear you, Shakir. You gotta turn it up. Shakir. I can't hear you.
I said it's hard for us to just stay in the moment. We gotta keep it going by unifying and keep whatever he got going out there, like LA, Bloods and Crips. Like the biggest gangs and then take it back to their hood. So I think it's very encouraging, and I think that we can grow from that easily. And he didn't do nothing big. Like, he didn't try to do a lot of labels and all that stuff. He went to his actual city and rebuild the people there. He didn't go Hollywood with everybody. He didn't try to put other people in the rap industry and try to do all that other stuff. He did it from the ground up. He did it honestly like a Muslim would do it, like a Muslim brother, that was actually learning. And when I studied him, because I was sleeping on Nipsey for a while. Even when we did the top 5 of West Coast, when y'all mentioned Nipsey, I still was like, all right, yeah, I guess, because we didn't have nobody. But I actually studied him when he passed away. I was one of the ones to find out when he passed away how great he was. I actually listened to his words, and then I studied who he was. But I actually seen his video a long time ago. But I thought that was just an Ethiopian kid when he had no beard and stuff. When he was talking about buying property instead of chains and all that stuff. I was like, who's the Ethiopian guy? I didn't even know that was Nipsey until later. And then when I seen that, I was like, okay, it all made sense about how big he really is and how he really lived up to his expectations. But he did have a lot of chains on, but we ain't gonna go there. But that was very raw.
Thank you, Shakir. Okay, excellent. Okay, now start with you, Yahweh. Because of the crime and because of the tragedy of his passing away, how should we do you think that would impact people wanting to remain in the hood after they become successful?
People don't want to remain in the hood anyway. You know what I'm saying? He's one of few. You can only name a couple of artists that really have businesses and things of that nature in the hood. One down here I can think of is Killer Mike. You know what I'm saying? He has the swag shop and his barbershop and stuff in, I believe, the West End. How will it affect? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think that people are gonna see, like, your neighborhood doesn't love you sometimes, man. It could be your homeboy could be cheering you on in your face, but behind your back, he could be setting you up. And that's the unfortunate thing about living in those type of communities and growing up in those type of communities. Like, Nipsey wanted to help out. He wanted to lend a helping hand. You know what I'm saying? But what did they do? Somebody pulled him down. That's unfortunately what we do to one another. We have to look at each other as brothers. We got to look at each other as sisters. We got to look at each other in that type of light in order for us to, prosper, in order for us to make something of ourselves and make something of our neighborhoods and things of that nature. So, to be honest, how do I think that that's going to affect it? I think that it might have a negative effect on celebrities wanting to come back to the neighborhoods and give back, but that it doesn't have to. You can give back without living within the neighborhood. Like a LeBron James who gave back to his community. He doesn't live in Akron no more, but he gives back. You know, just because you move out doesn't mean that that your presence can't be felt. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the only advice that I could give celebrities. But who am I? I mean, I'm just a little neighborhood Jay. You already know.
Okay, so Ronald, what do you think? An excellent response, Yahweh. So Katina says, put that work in and God will bless you. Orlando says, that was an awesome ceremony. Naima says, definitely support. Orlando says, you slept on well. Naima says, teach, baby. And Mimi says, teach, Brother Jamaal. Thank you, Naima. Ronald, what do you think about how this will impact celebrities and their willingness to work in the hood?
I see it a couple different ways, man. Like what Nip did, for one, he don't have a whole lot of negativity following his name. It ain't a whole lot of, he was the drug lord. He used to shoot him up, kill him, bang, bang. He was just from the hood. So then when he started giving back to the hood, he didn't leave, and he made sure he made a change and a difference in his community. And a lot of people will say he died in vain. But to me, a lot of us wouldn't be talking about the work that he was doing if he didn't pass away. So, of course, it sucks that he died. But that's definitely the definition of the 10,000 fearless. You know what I'm saying? If we die anyway, die for something. Because at the end of the day, some other people died that same day in LA. But we ain't talking about them or their legacy. We ain't praying for their family and their children. You know what I'm saying? So Nip did something where he made sure that he was going to be able to live on forever. And that's all you can ask for as a man, because we don't know when we're going to die. You know what I'm saying? I could get in a car accident tomorrow. And it'll be a funeral and that's it. But you know what I'm saying? He did something to where he's going to be here forever, for a very long time. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Of course, we don't want to see a man die, but I don't know if I can say that it's a bad death, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like his death brought light to a whole lot. You know what I mean? And so to these other cats in the hood that got the opportunity to be able to do something, man, you know, you can live like a man or die like a coward, straight up. You know what I'm saying? You can put a rap song out, but when you see Nip, people ain't really talking about his music that much. They're talking about what he did. You know what I'm saying? That was just the platform. You know what I'm saying? The music was the platform. The basketball is the platform. The whatever it may be, acting, or that's the platform to get you on. But then what you gonna do with it afterwards? You know what I'm saying? So I think Bro was a very positive example of that, man. And you know, Tupac said it back in the day. He said, "I may not be the one to bring the change, but I guarantee I'm gonna spark the brain of the one the change is gonna come through." You know what I'm saying? So this is a longer on process, man. And we may not see heaven, you know, at our age or whatever before we die, but are we leaving it for our children and our grandchildren and our legacy? You know what I'm saying? So I think Nip did a great job of doing that. So hopefully it inspires those to keep doing what he did.
Excellent. And I thank you all for your comments. And this is the most civilized. You can tell. I'm telling you how powerful Nipsey Hussle is now. And this is the most civilized that you three have ever been on a podcast with me ever in the history of all top fives and off the records.
Hey man, it's Nip Day. You got to do it for Nip, man.
Yes, sir. Okay, Shakir, to you. Okay, now for y'all who don't know, okay, so Yahweh works in the community. He's, you know, as an educator. Ronald's always giving back, working in the community through coaching and through dealing with children. Shakir comes from a family who built their business like Nipsey Hussle. His dad built multiple businesses in Oakland, in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring Shakir on, because I'm like, he has an interesting perspective because he was a product of somebody whose businesses was in the hood. So Shakir, what do you think the impact will be as far as the celebrities and their view of wanting to give back to the hood, or do it actually living in the hood or having their businesses in the hood, not necessarily living in the hood? I can't hear you, Shakir.
People about that. But my father, now that you said that, my father, he did his business in the hood and he lived in the hood. But yeah, you just gotta tie your camel, man. Like anybody could go any given day, you know. But you either gonna be an icon or you're gonna be just a regular celebrity. And what he did, he made himself an icon by doing what he did. You know, he didn't make himself ordinary. I thought he was just like a regular rapper, you know, just like all these other rappers. And then when I actually studied who he was way bigger than just a rapper. And that's what made his legacy even bigger. Like, if he would have lived, I could see him being like a Tupac, or being somebody big like Biggie and all these other rappers. But his time was just so short that we didn't find out how great he was until he passed away. And that's the unfortunate thing. But I think you should give back because it inspires the youth. Like, it depends on what your goal is. If you just want to make money and set your family straight, then do your thing. You know, keep it over there. But if you want to actually make a change in your neighborhood, actually want to inspire the people, you could do, or you could do like LeBron. Like you said, like LeBron, he built schools there. He sent people to college, and then he goes back to, he stay in his area. But he still go back and visit. Yep. You know, it ain't like he don't go back and visit. They show pictures and stuff and videos of him going back to visit. So he still be in the hood, but you got to tie your camel at the same time. You don't see the minister, you don't see the messenger, you don't see people like that go in the hood without being secured. You know what I mean? You just got to tie your camel. Everybody don't love you, regardless of how good you are. You can be the best man in the world. They're not going to just show that love. So in order, as a celebrity, I suggest them to just tie their camel. Be with your security. It's okay to have security. I don't care. They can call you fake all they want. But as long as you giving back to the community and you making sure your family and yourself is secure, that's your first post, is to make sure you secure. So it's nothing wrong with them going back to the hood. It's just that they got to tie their camel. Like, he just went out there by himself. Tupac and Biggie, Tupac was caught with just Suge in the car. So it's like, if you tie your camel a little bit better, then all of them be alive. All of them be okay. But you just can't be that arrogant or that cocky or that neglect or just thinking that you that man. No, you're not that man. Nobody's that man. So that's the only thing. But I think it's very good for them to go back to their hood, because Nipsey really inspiring. Like, you see Bloods and Crips. Like they said, 5, 6, 7 different gangs in LA all coming together just because of this one guy. That's huge. You know what I mean? Like, that's bigger than Nipsey's life. Like, that's amazing of how big one guy could be. So I think you should go back there because it's very inspiring. If you want to change. If you want to change. If you don't want to change, then, you know, just take care of your family, make your millions, and live a good life, I guess.
Hey, and that's changed too. Generational wealth is definitely a start to that change. You know what I'm saying? That just because you grew up in the hood or whatever doesn't mean that your children have to grow up that same way. You breaking that cycle. I seen it too many times growing up on the east side of Atlanta, growing up in Decatur. I seen it too many times. I got homeboys who still live out there to this day, who grandmothers lived in the same apartments, great grandmothers, and once you get them out, once you break them free of that mental slavery that they're in, man, the sky's the limit, man. You already made a change.
Excellent. And I thank you all for your comments. Go ahead, Ron.
I was going to say, man, I'm a product of that, man. I was born in Inglewood, but I didn't stay there for long. You know what I'm saying? Yep. My parents grew up, went to Dorsey High School and all that, but I didn't. They moved us out to the White Park. You know what I'm saying? We got out Riverside to make sure that their children was going to grow. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yep.
I'm definitely connected. My grandma's still there. I definitely go back and visit and do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Being a part of the nation, ain't no way to avoid the hood. But the reality of it is, you have to be able to see something different too. One thing that I noticed about Nipsey, just like you said, Shakir, about, you know, learning more about him. Of course, I knew his music, but then watching the day, they had a little thing where his pops, them being from Africa, and they went back to Africa, him and his brother. That's not a average experience for the hood kids. You know what I'm saying? So when you get out and see something different, and you see the world, regardless of why or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That changes your perception on things. You know what I mean?
That's how you froze up a little bit.
Okay, we waiting on Ronald back. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, my bad. My fault. Real quick though, I had a young man we was mentoring in the hood. He had got shot by the police over here, and literally, we had took him 2-3 miles away to an Applebee's just to talk to him, and we was sitting there, and he was looking all amazed, like, you know, I never been outside my block, and bro was like 17 years old, and it was just like, what you mean, like you can walk over here. We ain't even that far. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, I don't leave my block. That's what I know. So a lot of us, you know, don't have the opportunity or the experiences, man. So when you get it, ain't nothing wrong with getting out of it, because no one wants to be in it, like Jay said. But don't forget where you at either. Don't forget where you came from, and always go back and help them other ones that can't do, you know what I'm saying, what you was able to do.
Absolutely. Okay, what do you all think? How do you think we can bridge the gap between those who leave? I'm gonna start with you, Alway. Those who leave and those who stay. As far as us not beefing with each other on, you know, like who's doing the right thing. How do you think we can bridge that gap?
We have to champion those who were able to make it out. And, you know, jealousy and envy Man, that's one hell of a thing, man. I'm just telling you now. That's why a lot of people don't go back to those neighborhoods and things that they come from because of jealousy and envy. Like, you don't want to go somewhere where you feel like, man, I gotta look over my shoulder because I'm pulling up in this Wraith or whatever you pulling up in, because somebody gonna pull me out of it and X, Y, and Z. The way that we can do that is realize, like, each one teach one. That's the best thing that I can think of. Is each one teach one. Okay, I made it out. Let me pull a little homie right here to up and show him how I got out. I had a professor when I was at Albany State. He told me, he's like, I've been teaching you for X amount of years, and I know where you come from. He's like, what are you going to do when you get back with this degree? Are you just going to have this degree and just have a job and take care of your family? Or are you going to get this degree and help the next young boy like you get a degree? You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of celebrities and things of that nature, I got my money, I got my this, and that, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight. I don't need to go back to the hood, forget that. I'm out. Nah, man, that's not how it go. When you get out of that situation, you got to pull more up out of that situation. You get your family up out of that situation. You get your homies up out of that situation. You don't have to feed into them and give. Don't give money, give games. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing that you could really do. Put somebody on game. Show them, teach somebody about real estate, or teach somebody about, how they could start their own business. Teach them about things that they would have never seen. Back to what Ronald said with the little boy with the Applebee's. My mom, she's an educator. She had a little boy and she was working at APS. And she had a little boy and they went to the zoo. And Josh, you know how close Atlanta Zoo is to downtown. The little boy asked my mom, he's like, do I need to bring a suitcase? Because he thought that the zoo was another world. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to show these little dudes and these little girls something different. If you have the means and you have the power to do so, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you not, I'm gonna be 100%. Half of these entertainers and actors, and they lames. Like, let's be real. They ain't giving back. They, part of that. This that bootleg BS. Nah, man. At the end of the day, we are responsible for one another. Am I my brother's keeper? You damn right you are.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that's all I gotta say about that, man. Neighborhood. What you mean?
Yes, that's right. Okay. Okay, Shakir, we coming to you. What can we do about trying to deal with the jealousy, and the envy, and trying to break that cycle? As far as when you want to come back in the community, but fight against jealousy and envy.
Oh, you can't break that cycle. It's impossible to break that cycle. That's just the nature of men, women, whatever, children.
You're not lying though.
That's just in people. Like, you can help out a lot of them. Now, don't get it twisted. Like, you can help out a lot, but you can't help them all. Like, some people you just can't do enough. You get somebody $1 million, they still be like, why you didn't give me $1,000,001? It's like you just can't. It's in their blood, and that's the problem. We can't think like that. We can't think that we're gonna help everybody. We can try. If they don't fail, you go to the next person. You just got to keep moving. More people you touch, because you only live a short life. So you got to reach as many people as you can. So don't even trip off the ones that's jealous or the ones that got envious of you. But that shouldn't stop you from doing your goal. That didn't stop Nipsey. Okay, they say he died at 33. There's people that's 65, 80, 100 years old that ain't never did what Nipsey did at 33. So it's like, so when y'all say live, what do you mean by living? You know what I mean? Of course he died, and he said, okay, fine. That to me, I have no issue with him passing away in his hood. What if people that died in the valley? There are people that get robbed in their houses in the valley. I remember Taylor. What's that dude, Taylor? From Sean Taylor. He had a big house. They went in his house, ran in his house, killed him inside of his house in a good neighborhood. So it's like, if it's your time, it's your time. So it's like, at least while you here, do something with it. You know what I mean? That's what he did. He spent his time and he did something with it. And like he said, when he went to Africa and he seen how that country is compared to the condition of we are in America, he put them both together and he see what he could do with us. You know what I mean? And he actually built upon us. And then even T.I. said he gave a message to the black man. And we all know what's in that book. So it's like he was really sharp. He was a sharp individual. So I think you should always be mindful of jealousy and envy, but don't let it stop you from doing what you need to do to help out the people, if that's your goal. That's what because I'm telling you, jealousy and envy gonna be all around. It could be your own family, it could be your own mother, your daddy, your sister, your daughter, your son. It could be anybody. So you can't think that way. You gotta just be like, okay, that's one of the ones, and just keep moving. But I think you're never gonna change that. But it is a part that you have to be mindful of. Like Nipsey, like when he just bounced, they say he just bounced and went over there. Like in his mind, he should be like, hey, or people around him, they had his back. Like we actually study him, or the people around him really like cared about him. So it sounded like he was just going like around the corner to his area where it was like he felt comfortable at. You know what I mean? And they said that he was hiring people. That's what I reminded me of my dad, because my dad used to do the same thing. That's why I understood everything that happened, because my father used to hire felons. And when you hire felons, they can't have guns. So it's like he hired people around there with all felons and stuff like that. So it made sense that nobody over there had guns, because he was trying to run a legit business. And without trying to get it shut down, because I'm pretty sure they was all watching everything he doing, because I'm pretty sure they was jealous that he took over a whole area. He took over a whole little community when they showed that. I never even knew about it until he passed away. So it's very understanding, but I think it's inspiring at the same time. And I think when people go there, all these celebrities, when they go back there and see his visual, that they all should be able to, they should put something in their head where they're like, man, I should go back home in Brooklyn, go back in Atlanta, go back in Florida, and buy up that corner that was over there all this time that the Arabs sell liquor to our people from. I should buy up this liquor store. I should buy up Chinatown. Look how Chinese people do it. They buy up everything in their area every time. They buy blocks and blocks and blocks of people.
They buy up everything in our area.
Exactly.
Sure.
And we can't. And when we do it, we get killed or something like that. And then we got to have a damn conversation about if we should do it. Like there can't even be no conversation about hell yeah we should do it. I mean, like just the only thing is just tie your camel. That's the only thing. Like if you're going to be in the hood, just have security around you. It's okay to have security. It's not like, oh, I'm a coward because I got security. No, because you're doing big things and there are jealous people out there. And you can live with that and respect that. And people in the hood and people around should inspire people like that and respect people that do have security like that, so they won't feel uncomfortable to do it. Because it's expensive to have security. So it's like they don't want to spend all their money on security all the time. Like, I want to go to the hood, but damn, I got to buy security. No, you should have people around you that has love for you, that will just come with you on GP because you're giving back so much. But I think they shouldn't feel bad having hella people with them when they go to the hood. That's why I think it is too. Like, I could just go to the hood by myself. You could be that fool. You could go ahead and show everybody how cool you are, but it don't make no sense. But Nipsey, I don't think he was that big. He's bigger now when he passed away than he was alive. So I think at his stage, he probably could have went over there if it was his area and had a couple people with him and still felt safe, I believe. Because the way they talk about him and the way he was communicating with the neighborhood, I could understand completely how he was. But it's just that one guy, it takes that one jealous guy, like you said, that one jealous, envy guy to pull the trigger and it ends everything. But that could be anywhere though. You could be walking down the street in Hollywood. You could be on the Vegas Strip with Tupac. You know what I mean? It's like, it's everywhere you go, somebody can pull the trigger. You could be in your bed like Michael Jackson, they still can get you. So it's like, if they want you, they're gonna get you. So at least you put an impact in people's lives. And that's the most thing that I got out of the Nipsey thing. It's like, don't give up on the hood. Just be more careful and tie your camel a little better.
Hey, you had to bring up Michael Jackson, man. Yeah.
They went in his house, man. They went in his house.
Hey,
I'm mentioning him with Ghost. I even said Tupac. I'm mentioning him with the Ghost.
Hey, Ronald, we coming to you next with this next question. But hold on. Orlando says, I was very impressed with Nipsey's sister's friend who testified that he would challenge his peers on reading books. That was very impressive to me. Yes, sir. I noticed that as well. And he said, I believe Nipsey set his trend in his own way, different from Tupac and Biggie. Okay,
bro,
he did.
But ain't that crazy that we got to challenge other black people to read books?
Absolutely.
Like,
but you know what though?
That's like congratulating a brother to read. That's crazy.
That's
like you read my guy, congratulations. Like,
but I'm gonna be honest with you though. That go right into my answer. To be honest with you, y'all probably right. We probably can't get rid of the jealousy and envy, but education changes all that. Like if you notice with Nipsey, and I think Allah did it on purpose. I know he was familiar with Minister Tony in the nation in LA, but as far as I know, I don't think he was connected necessarily to the minister. I don't know if the minister knew him like that. He wasn't necessarily, I don't think he even knew Dr. Seeley. I think he studied him and liked what his work and wanted to do his movie about him or whatever, but I don't think he knew, brother. At some point, it's a self thing that you have to dig into yourself and figure out where you're gonna move and how you're gonna move.
Right.
You jealous of somebody because you don't understand what they got going on, but the reason you ain't got it going on or got your own thing going on is because you haven't discovered self yet. So the beautiful thing about Nipsey, man, yeah, I don't know how often y'all go to LA or in Atlanta. It's a little different, and Oakland might be a little different. But Nipsey is on every corner in LA. That lengthy, light-skinned, super tattooed up, dreadhead nigga is on every corner in LA. It ain't just Slauson and Crenshaw. It's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So when you see and look, I'll be honest, my judgmental state, I would have never thought Nipsey was that deep. I'd have been like, that's just one of them niggas on the corner. Probably could have hoop. Probably got a 40 in his hand. Probably got a blunt. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But that self-discovery that he has. So the fact that he used to challenge his people to read books, to me, that's dope because I can give you rap, but I'm deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he was telling cats to put the smoke down. He told Charlamagne, you know what I'm saying? I don't smoke weed no more. I need to stay focused. So what's that saying to y'all that got the weed in your hand? I'm not knocking it. If that's what you do, that's what you do. But the reality of it is that ain't the only way. And that jealousy and envy thing, man, you know, the reality of it is sometimes we'll get so worried about being attached to something and being, do we got the approval of whoever, the government, the minister, the basketball, the David Stern or whoever. Just do what you do, man. If you believe in something that you're doing and you think it's right in your heart and you know that you ain't doing it for the wrong reasons, go out there and do what you do, man. You know what I'm saying? Big feels awake, the wide awake man. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Nipsey saw something, he saw a need in his community, and he just attacked it, man. And it's sad. I don't even want to know if it's jealousy that killed him, to be honest with you, because I don't want to speculate too much, but the reality of it is you got a person who was a vigilante shooter who walked on him broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? It don't add up too well to me. So I ain't gonna say the government has something to do with it. I'm not speculating that, but all I'm saying is, to me, that's more, it's jealousy, but it's more self-hate than anything. You know what I'm saying? To start anywhere, if I'm willing to take a life that's impacting my community, that's something about your own, you know what I'm saying? Your own.
Oh, that's all jealousy is, man.
With, you know what I'm saying?
That's all jealousy.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's ridiculous.
Okay, excellent. And thank y'all for comments, and thank y'all for watching, and thank my great panelists for their responses today. Okay, y'all, we'll be starting with you. How do we get out of the mindset of blaming the hood, the entire community, for acts of violence by a few individuals?
How do we get out of that mindset?
Yeah, of blaming the hood.
I mean, you got to understand that there's bad apples in every bunch, man. The hood ain't always, you know what I'm saying? The hood ain't all bad. You know, I could go to my old neighborhood and go to my homeboys' neighborhoods and things like that. And I can tell you, I grew up around some great people. I met some of my lifelong friends on Cantler. You know what I'm saying? I met some of my lifelong friends on Panola. Like, and these are dudes who I still hang with. You get what I'm saying? So everybody, you can't judge based off of somebody's economic, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's socioeconomic background. You know, it's just, you just got to know where you at. That's the key. That's the thing, man. You got to always know. You got to be on your P's and Q's at all times. I don't care. Wherever you at. I'm out here in the boondocks right now. And I'm on my P's and Q's all the time. And I mean, I have old people that live around me. I know I'm good. But I still, you know, growing up where I grew up, I always make sure protection. That's the key. Self-preservation. That's everything to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Making it home at night to my wife. That's all I care about at the end of the day. That's real. That's real because Nipsey didn't make it home to his wife. How does she feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't imagine like Naima going through that. I don't want to imagine. So I'm not gonna get caught out here slipping. I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. I don't care. I might sound like the most hood nigga in the world right now, but I don't care because I'm not gonna get caught out here. Like, no, that's not going down. I gotta protect myself at all times. And I think that growing up where I grew up taught me that. You know what I'm saying? You can't, but don't sit there just because that's the case. Don't sit there and think everything in the hood is bad. Didn't y'all boy Pac said it best. Then he say rose in a concrete jungle. Then he a rose rise from concrete or something of that sort. That's real. Some of the most talented, some of the most kind-hearted, some of the most beautiful people in the world are in some of the most messed up situations.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? The devil is the devil in a fast car in a big house. Trust me, I know. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you got to do it. You have to assess each person by, you got to assess each person individually. Being a product of your environment and stuff doesn't always have to be a bad thing. There are good products in our environment, just like there are bad products in our environment. So that's it, man.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Big Ryan, what can we do to get out of the mindset of blaming the whole hood on a few people who had bad incidents?
I think we got to change the narrative. I think that the narrative is the hood is bad, but most of us grew up in the hood, love our experiences. Most of us, I've been robbed at a country club before. I didn't went to LA Fitness to go hoop, put my stuff in a locker and came back and it wasn't there. That wasn't in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So your experiences can happen anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Things can happen. Like he said, Sean Taylor got shot in $1 million mansion. You feel me? In a gated community. So at the end of the day, your narrative has to change, or our narrative, I should say, has to change in the mindset, the way we think. And the proof of it is the whole world want to be the hood. The whole world dressed like us. They put 20-inch rims on their cars now. They come out a lot like that. You go get old people in the old neighborhoods and driving their Escalades and they riding around with stock 20-inch rims. That came from the hood. You know what I'm saying? So we change the narrative of what the hood really is. We won't look at it always as a negative thing. I got a dear friend of mine, one of my best friends, whose pops is a former crackhead. He got through it though. But to this day, if you see him, his hand shakes. And literally, I can't make this up, in the hood, in Park South, in South Phoenix, if y'all know Phoenix at all, he builds airplanes. I don't mean model airplanes. I mean actual single jet, 1-seater, 2-seater airplanes for fun. He'll take 60 racks, buy it from somebody in Milwaukee who didn't know how to put it together, fly it a couple times, and then sell it for $200,000. Right in the hood. Right in the hood. Josh, next time you're in Phoenix, I'm going to introduce you to him. So we got diamonds, we got jewels in our own community that we don't even know about because we're judging and we're looking and our narrative is so skewed. But the hood ain't the worst thing, man. You got people with multi-million-dollar mansions that won't let more than 3 people come in their house. And you got a person with a 1-bedroom who got 8 relatives doing what they got to do to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So the hood got a lot of love in it, man. The hood got a lot of joy and stories. When you little and all your cousins is kicking it, you ain't worried about none of that extra. We ain't got stuff. You just having fun because it's 10 of us. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to be bored because it's 10 of us over there. You know what I mean? So I think we change the narrative, man. That'd be, a good start because, it's a couple bad apples, but it's a whole lot of rotten apples on the other side. You know what I'm saying? We just don't look at the narrative that way.
Excellent. And thank you all for your comments. Okay, Shakir, what can we do to change the narrative of blaming everything on the hood? I can't hear you, Shakir.
That's pretty hard. All right. Nah, it's the mentality, man. It's not. One thing about me, when I look at black people, when I see our problems, I never blame it on the hood. I blame it all the way back to slavery, man. If you know your history and your roots, you know why we are like we are. We got robbed. You don't understand. We got robbed of every single thing, our names, our culture, everything. So we trying to figure ourselves out. We think we gangsters. We think we Muslims. We think we Christians. We think we Buddhists. We think we this. We think we that. We're so confused. You know what I mean? So we only been free for 100 years. We in the time of finding out right now. We still living in that era. Later on, our children's children probably be better off than us because they're gonna understand where we at now. So we just gotta understand the hood. And when you talk to the brothers in the hood, those are the most beautiful people, man. I used to do security in the hood, like at the clubs and stuff like that. My father used to have security in the club and stuff. you just talk to the people. The most gangster person is most nicest person. It is that they just be in a circle. And when you're in that circle and that lifestyle, that's when it gets a little different. You know what I mean? But if you stay away from that lifestyle, but you still communicate with the people, you good with them. You know what I mean? At least in Oakland, you know what I mean? But sometimes you can go to Oakland too. You could be robbed or something like that, but they ain't gonna kill you. You know that's most. I mean, you go anywhere in the hood. You know what I mean?
Take your car, but not your life.
Right. You go everywhere in the hood, you gonna get robbed and stuff. You just give them stuff, don't be arrogant and stupid, like getting pulled over by the police. If you just cooperate, you good. But other than that, the hood really have love for respectable people. If you don't act that way, if you don't want to be that guy. Now, if you want to be that guy, then so be it. You know, you got a good chance of dying or in jail. So I never was fond of that. That never sparked me. You know, I have family members, I have friends, I have people that died and people that went to jail and all this stuff. So I never was fond of that. That never looked fun to me. You know what I mean? I always looked at it like, damn, y'all are stupid, or like, what the fuck is y'all thinking about? You know, I always had that kind of characteristics about it, but I always was around it. But I knew how to separate myself from it. Like, nah, y'all go ahead and do what y'all gotta do, bro. I'm gonna stay at the house today. I ain't about to be able.
Shakir, you went out.
Might say signal.
Okay, well, while we're waiting on Shakir to come back, this is the last question I got for everybody who's here. Shakir, you back? Okay, no.
He's still in the hood. He got that bad signal.
Yeah. That's it. Okay, see what I'm saying? Nope.
Live from the trap phone. That's what it is. He on Crenshaw right now.
Shakir, can you hear me?
You gotta get off that chirp phone.
Yeah. Okay. This is our last question. Yahweh, what do you want to do individually to keep the legacy alive of Nipsey Hussle?
What do I want to do individually?
Nope, Shakir, we can't hear you.
I say first I want to get Shakir out
like
my
a transformer right now.
That's number one. That's number one, so I can think. Man, what do I want to do individually?
Yeah.
That's a tough question, man. That's a tough question because it's so many things that I want to do. It's about what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show these little black boys, these little black girls, as long as I'm an educator, as long as I'm in schools, I'm going to show them that there is a different way out than what they tell you you can do. You're more than what they tell you can do. Like, you don't have to dribble a ball. You don't have to rap a lyric. You don't have to do those type of things. I played basketball. I went to school and played ball. But that wasn't my goal. My goal was to go to school, get my degree, get the hell out, and bring more people with me. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That was my goal. That's what I wanted to do. What I want to do is inspire the next Jamaal or the next Josh or the next Ronald. You get what I'm saying? I want to inspire that next person because I know for a fact I ain't gonna see no change in my lifetime. I'm being 100% honest. We're not gonna see much change within our lifetime, but if my children can see that change and my children's children can live that change, if I can change something for them, that's all that matters at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. All that matters at the end of the day is if the little black boy across the street sees more than what I seen, man, due to something that I taught them, man, that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. There's a little boy right now, probably in Crenshaw, who never seen black ownership. But due to Nipsey's death, guess what he's seen? He's seen the Marathon story. You get what I'm saying? He's seen Nipsey. They didn't just kill a man. They didn't just kill a rapper. They didn't just kill a 60. They killed the beacon of hope. You get what I'm saying? They killed somebody who, but they also introduced the beacon of hope too. Nipsey is more popular within his death than he probably ever would have been living.
Absolutely. That's for sure.
So how can I keep that alive? Is by continuing, understanding that it sounds corny, but the marathon has to continue. A marathon ain't a sprint. It's not over quick. You pace yourself. You pace yourself to finish. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't finished. That's all I can say. I'm not finished. And none of y'all are finished. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta keep going.
I like that. Thank you for your positivity, Yahweh. Shakir, we come back to you in 1 second. Thank you all for your comments. Thank you for Heavenly S. Babe. And Ronald, go ahead, on you. What are you going to individually do to keep the spirit of Nipsey Hussle alive?
I think all of us individually already kind of do some kind of work, some kind of good for our community. That's kind of why we on this panel. But one thing that Nipsey represented was the hood and the street much better than I know me personally I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 35-year-old man. I don't have a tattoo on my body. You know what I mean? I just started growing my hair out, maybe to get that long one day, but I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? So we cut a little different. I can't even grow a beard. It won't come all the way in. You know what I mean? So when I deal with little kids, sometimes they can look at Ron like, oh, he different though. He corny or he whatever, because I look a little different. But with Nip, they painted Jesus white on purpose because they didn't want us to see somebody that looked like us. Well, a lot of these cats, Nip look just like them. So, the best thing I can do is when I'm doing whatever I'm doing, the work I'm doing with the youth or with the kids or coaching or reffing or whatever, teaching, when they feel like they can't see themselves in me or in others, in the minister, in the messenger, I can point them to somebody who looked just like them, from a neighborhood probably just like them, from hard standings just like them. Like his mama went up there today, talking about how they daddy broke up and it was an abusive relationship or whatnot, just like them. You know what I'm saying? So we have circumstances that create our reality. And sometimes it's hard for the youth to see outside of their reality. You know what I'm saying? So taking somebody like Nip and making it a little bit closer to home for some of these cats, man, it's absolutely a beautiful thing to be able to do that, man, because, he didn't, it's almost like, as crazy as it sounds, it's almost like the perfect death because he didn't get too big. He didn't get to the point where he was untouchable and he was, oh yeah, but that's, Snoop Dogg. He been famous forever. Well, no, if you old enough, you remember when Snoop Dogg was 19 and starting off grinding. But if you ain't old enough, I guess, yeah, that's Snoop Dogg with Martha Stewart and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you look at Nip got him a beautiful black woman from the hood, young, just like her. You know what I'm saying? Same area, stayed in his community, kept people around him that looked just like him. And we didn't see him, quote unquote, super uber successful in that world. But in his own world, very successful, very independent, very forward thinking on his business and how he was going to attack this thing that he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't want to take away from that light. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep him seeing that light, that shine, show these kids that it's a lot more other options than just the normal, everyday run-of-the-mill situation. You know what I mean? So much love to Neighborhood Nip, man. Y'all know what it is.
Hey, okay, Shakir, thank you. And thank you all for your comments. Naim says the marathon continues. Heaven Treasure says R. Thank you very much, Heaven Treasures. Okay, perfect. Okay. Shakir, what are you going to do individually to keep the spirit of Nipsey Hussle alive, bro?
That's a good. I mean, you got to be more positive on IG. When you talk to people, give them positive advice. Like me, I like giving people positive advice. I don't like telling them negative stuff or to tell them to do something wrong because I got a conscience. I feel like if I tell somebody to do something wrong, it's gonna come back on me, and I'll feel bad that I let them. You can't just have people just go out here being crazy. Like some people like to dare, like a daredevil type of people. Like they like to tell people to do stuff that they know what's going to happen, know the results, but they're going to come back bad. I try not to keep that karma on me. You know what I mean? So I think that the best is just to spread the good news, like to spread good stuff to your people, speak to your people all the time. Say what's up to your brothers when you see them. Like I know it's nowadays, like black people now, they speak more than they used to do. Like usually you just look at people, you keep moving. Now it's like, what's up, bro? Like it's more, we have a better culture right now too. At our time now, we speak to each other more because our life is more jeopardized now. We get killed by each other and by whites at a high rate. So it's like when you see another brother, you should embrace like, what's up? At least acknowledge them. give them a nod. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's how we should do it. And then use your page, use your IG pages and your Facebook pages and promote positivity. I think that's another thing too, because that's the new thing. There's so many people making money off IG and all this stuff, just talking, really just saying a bunch of stuff that you be like, man, I've been learning this my whole life. And they talking about it now that it's popular, they benefited from it. But it's like you might as well that's the way you give it to your people, by just spreading it good and make it seem cool. You know what I mean? Sometimes when we was growing up, you know, that was like the corny guy, like those Muslims up there, leave them boys alone. You know what I mean? We hood niggas. You know what I mean? Even though they didn't mess with us because they knew the reason. They knew how to separate the two though. They respected you. Don't get it twisted. Because they know the results, but at the same time, we was just like the good boys. You know what I mean? Those are the good boys over there. Y'all leave them alone. Yeah. But now everybody want to be the good boys. That's the crazy part. You know, so the hood is really out, but you got to help guide. I think you just help guide your people. When you see them going wrong, or you see them being bad, going on a bad path, just tell them the real. You know what I mean? You don't want to hold it down. The worst thing you could do is for somebody to tell you they're going to do something and you know the result of it and not tell them. You know, even if it makes them mad, to me, you could clear your chest by it, man. I told you, I don't need you to do that, woo, woo, woo. Because if you end up dead or in jail, at least you gave them the right advice to not do it. You know what I mean? And you can sleep well at night. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I told them, you know, I gave them, some people will tell, because you'd be surprised how positive advice goes far away. A lot of people don't have that in them. They'll encourage them, like, yeah, you should do that. You're right. Man, you can come up with how much money you can do what? He got this, you know what I mean? So their mentality will really tell them to do it. Like, go rob him or go kill him. Like, I seen it. So I be in the conversation like, God damn, y'all fools is crazy, man. Like, what are y'all thinking about? Like, it be for no reason. Like, people really think. See, when you have the teachers, we look at it like automatic. You know what I mean? Like common sense. Or the way we think sometimes like common sense. But it's not. It's really not. When you be around these people, you be like, God damn, boy, this shit is crazy. You know, so then people, they be like, I don't need the nation. I don't need the teachers. I don't need this no more. I'm just spiritual. They don't, because they didn't grow up. If you didn't grow up in a nation, if you grow up in a nation, some people be like, I'm spiritual. You know what I mean? I don't need all that. But when you outside the nation and you start learning about the nation, you start seeing the benefits of the nation a little bit better than we have. You know what I mean? Because it's different. It's weird. It's weird and it's sad, but it's a fact. You know what I mean? We kind of was spoiled. They used to say the old saying, you get so close to the light, it could blind you. Like, we was blessed to be so close that we don't understand how good it actually is. But if you be in the inner city and be around these people, and you start seeing people all the time, like I'm telling you, I used to do security at the club. You see people coming there all the time, splurging, got money. You be like, God damn, what the hell we doing, man? Like, then next thing you know, he ended up dead or in jail. You be like, God damn, already? Or they get robbed. I mean, like, it's serious. Like, them streets, boy, that street life is no fun. Even when you do security at the club, you be like, damn, what the fuck am I doing here? Because they drunk, like, they respect you, but when they get drunk, that alcohol kick in, they be like, fuck, whoever y'all talking about, I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. You know what I mean? It gets real. Like, seriously, like, they'll pull the guns out and have all that stuff. So it's like, you just got to be positive. But at the end of the day, they'll come back and respect, like, apologize, you know, I was drunk, this and that. You know what I mean? But it's like you have to be involved with your people to change it. You know what I mean? You have to be around them to actually change it. But you'd be surprised how much respect you get. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have to have a gun and all that shit. Your gun is your mouth. You know what I mean? That's your best weapon. If you don't know how to use that, you're gonna die anyway. So I think that's the best way you're gonna get to your people, is to just communicate and get to the youth. Really, we need to get to the youth. You know what I mean? The youth is the future, and they really, man, they fearless, boy. They fearless. They don't care, even though they don't look fearless, but they're fearless. You know, they dress like they're not fearless.
Especially the ones in Atlanta.
Here we go.
Well, come on down here. Come on, Ronald. Come on down here and see them.
Come down and see what it's about.
Come on down and see them.
That's Atlanta and San Francisco. You know, that's
Nah, San Francisco.
But
San Francisco ain't got nothing on Atlanta.
Like not too long ago, I remember Jamaal talking about Young Thug. I said, who? Young Thug, the dress guy, right? Yeah, he's the man out here. I said, oh, okay, yeah, for sure. But it's like, those are the people you gotta really get to, though. You gotta talk to these, because they inspire way more people than us. You know what I mean? We're in a dress like that could tell people, oh, I could do whatever. I could wear a bra next time and top him. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to really
You ain't have to bring Thug into it though, man. God, dog. Jeffrey didn't do nothing to you, man.
That's why I admire Josh's brother, political press. You know, he like that. That's his style. He don't he no, I'm not gonna sell out. No, I know my worth. No. So at first I used to be like, man, just get your, you know what I mean, do whatever. But then at the same time, it's kind of smart though. It's like, okay, what if you actually make it doing it the hard way? Or what if you go that wrong route, end up dead? Because he went the wrong route. God ain't gonna let you succeed because you know better. You know what I mean? We don't get held on the same standards as everybody else. You know, so your best thing is to pass positivity, bro. That's the best thing you can do. And to me, that's the only way you're gonna change the hood. But the jealousy and envy, you ain't gonna never get rid of. You gonna
keep that forever. And keep that trip on your hip.
Yeah, thank you, y'all. And thank you, Ronald. All right, listen. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to our off the record tribute to the late great Nipsey Hussle. Thank y'all for watching. We're gonna put this on YouTube. We're gonna hope that the marathon continues. Yahweh, go ahead and say goodbye to everybody, bro.
Man, hey Josh, I appreciate you for having me. RIP to Nip. You already know what it is. King Nip 6-0. You already know what time it is.
Okay. Oh shit, here we go.
Stop hating on the 60s, Josh. Stop hating on the 60s neighborhood.
Big Ron, man. Go ahead and say goodbye to everybody, bro.
Man, always appreciate it. Always a good time building with the brothers. You know what I'm saying? Josh, you doing your thing. I appreciate it. Hey, man, Nipsey wasn't the only one, man. Y'all remember that. Like, there's a lot of people out here doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up the torch, and, you know what I'm saying, keep doing what he's doing. Like, he would support them. Let's make sure we support them. You know what I'm saying? The marathon continues. I know what it is.
Yes, sir. All right, Shakir, go ahead, bro. Say goodbye to everybody.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for letting RIP Nips. Good show. You know, I hope we continue to do what he was doing, and he inspired everybody. And, you know, like you get Jamaal again, too.
Shakir coming live from the trap.
I can't take you serious. I can't take Shakir serious.
Yeah, you might want to go to.
I can't take Shakir serious. All right, thank y'all very much, man. Thank y'all for watching. The marathon continues.